And welcome to a Believe Something Better review.
I can see your face.
Hi you guys, and welcome to our first ever Believe Something Better Bible review. So I'm going to start doing some of these over the course of the next I guess years to come. It's something that I've seen on other channels and kind of has inspired me to really take a look at my Bibles and look at the what's in them, not based on translation. Sorry guys, the camera just moved. Not based on translation, but based on the product that I'm getting with the font and the paper and the binding and that sort of thing. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you over to my bookshelf where I've set up a makeshift desk to be able to record this, and let's see what I have to review today. Alright you guys, I'm over here at my bookshelf. You can see my Bible bookshelf over here that we took a small tour of earlier in the year. And I'm over here. This is the first Bible that we're going to review. It is the Cambridge. We can see that right there. Cambridge ESV, English Standard Version Pitt Minion. This one is in the brown casket and is just gorgeous to the touch. I can't even really tell you guys, explain how it just feels different. You can just feel a difference in that versus something like this, which is a imitation leather. We'll get to that one. Or something like one of these, which is not quite as upscale, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But this is the imitation leather. Every Cambridge comes with one of these now. It's a guarantee. And of the Bible, so definitely important thing to hold on to. And it is, I mean, that is rather easy to maneuver with this cover. Now I've heard, so this is my first goatskin Bible, and I've watched several reviews, so I've heard that once you break this in, it's a whole lot more pliable. But this little Pitt Minion, because it is little in comparison to some other Bibles, which again we'll get to in a moment, is will break in and be much more pliable once you break it in. But I just want to talk about the cover. I mean, the squish of that cover, you can feel it when you open it. You can feel the squish of the leather there, and feel it when you push on it. It's just absolutely amazing. It's way different to the touch than the leather that I'm used to, which is something more like this. This is a bonded leather, NASB, which I've had for a while. If you've watched my This Is My Bible videos, you've seen exactly what that is, and we'll get to that and the interior of that in a moment. And this is another Bible which I probably won't write in. John, open all the way up to John right there. Now we're in Isaiah, and I mean, even once you're in the middle, it just absolutely lays open. Obviously doesn't lay flat because the binding is a little stiff. This isn't an edge-lined Bible. It has a paper liner in there, as you can see. But I'm going to move on from the binding to the paper. And this paper is just, I mean, it's not the classic India paper from a different Bible, something like this Cambridge right here, which is my grandfather's. Again, this is my Bible mini series. That's in video 3 of that. The paper in there is, well, much thicker and nicer than this, and still you could see how thin that was. We're going to lay these side by side at the very tail end of this video. But the real exquisiteness of this paper is just the feel of it. You feel the paper, how smooth it is. And just, I mean, I love to touch it. And I mean, there is some ghosting on it. It is thin. I mean, like right here, you can see Proverbs right there through the paper. I turn this page here, we can see the actual title page there of Proverbs and the end of Psalms here, but you don't and you can notice ghosting like that right there, but you're not really ever getting your eye that close to it. For a normal reading position, I mean, I'm more back here, and even there, you know, I can read from here. It says, let them praise, right here at the end of 148, let them praise the name of the Lord. And so even there, the ghosting isn't detracting, especially with this line matching that they have going on. It's definitely not detracting. It's not any worse ghosting than other Bibles, and the font really is a gorgeous font. I mean, let me see if I can get in real tight here so you can see this font is really a gorgeous font. You can easily see the difference here between one letter and another. It's not overly bold. You can see these superscript letters for the cross references. You can see the superscript numbers for these footnotes down here, and I mean the footnotes are even smaller, and you can read those footnotes in person. I'm sure on your screen it looks really small, and I've seen that that's kind of the chief complaint about this Bible, is how small the text is. But let's face it, guys, I mean, we're looking at a compact Bible here, and I think that's one of the things that some people forget, is that in a compact Bible, you need it to be small, and it's only 6 3/4, 6.75 point font, which is not overly small. It's not unheard of to actually have smaller font even. And in fact, I have this. This is also in the This Is My Bible series. This was also in episode 3. This is my dad's King James. That is a complete Bible, and that one has way smaller font. We'll get to that, but this Bible is just, the paper is just amazing to the feel. The font is a crisp, clean font, gorgeous. The page gilding on the edge is just gorgeous. And I mean, yeah, just it is a gorgeous Bible. And this is obviously on the upper end of the pay tier if you're going to pay for it. It comes in multiple translations. If you're looking for NASB, King James, New King James, NLT, NIV, obviously ESV. It comes in many different translations, but it's very much a Bible that you could take with you anywhere. I mean, it's hand size. For me, almost exactly hand size. Easy to pick up, easy to carry. I mean, just a gorgeous Bible. This tier that I have comes with 2 ribbons in it. Beautiful maps in the back, and this is something new to me. I don't know about everybody else, but this is something that's new to me. These maps, you know, in like a lot of your Bibles, it's this chunky pages of cardstock at the back of the Bible, and these are a little bit thicker than the India paper, but not heavily noticeable difference between these and the India paper that's in the front. I mean, maybe if the whole Bible was printed on that paper. I mean, I don't see anything. Yeah, you can still see the black text coming through there. But I mean, full color maps, they're not bleeding through. I mean, only because they're printed across the top of each other. But just, I mean, the font is, yes, it's small, but it's nothing too crazy. But I mean, again, you're looking at a small Bible, and so you have like the difference. Like if you're going to do something more like this Bible, I mean, look at how much thicker that is. I mean, when we lay them side by side, you can really see the difference here. In height, it's well, I mean, it's only a little bit taller, but as far as the spines here, let me show you the real difference here of what we're looking at. You can see the really big difference here in the spines. And this is, I think, if I were to say that I had an all-time favorite Bible, this would probably be that all-time favorite Bible. This is a single column Heritage. Now, they don't print this Bible anymore, but this is a single column Heritage. You can see how much bigger the font is. This is a 9-point font, whereas this is 6.75. And I mean, so of course we're adding just a bunch of mass to this Bible in comparison to the Pitt Minion. You can really see the difference there. And so, I mean, the Pitt Minion is not overly small. This binding though, oh, if I could have that binding on this Bible, that'd be amazing, because this is a imitation leather. It's called a true tone. here. See that? Imitation leather. And I mean, it's now, after years of use now, it's roughly similar to this goatskin, which practically right out of the box. I mean, you can just see it. It just folds. No marks on it from it folding. Very different from what I'm used to. I mean, just one more thing with the font. Let's open up here to a spot where it'll easily lie flat. So for those people who want to complain about a small font, so we can see here, you can see the 52 right there. You can see the letters. If I hold it right here, you can even read that on the screen. And here we can see the 2, and that's King James. Let's see if we can get to Isaiah 52 really quickly. I should have had this marked in here where I wanted to be. There's Isaiah 50. Oh, I just lost it. 1. There's 52. Isaiah 52. Isaiah 52. And I mean, on the screen that doesn't look overly small to me, but I mean, if we were to hold this at one spot and another, this looks like words. This looks almost like dots on the page. Your eye can't even really distinguish the difference between the two. This is an Oxford. I don't know what leather this is. Something that my dad gave me. It says Oxford there on the spine, but that is small. Move the Pitt Minion over for 1 second. This is the compact Bible that I bought myself. The very first Bible I ever bought myself. And I mean, it's bonded leather. It doesn't open easily. I have to think. Old Testament. I have to open it. Oh, that's all the way in Numbers, and it's still not wanting to stay open. Deuteronomy. Oh, here. Okay, now we're starting to stay open a little bit. Let's jump to still in Deuteronomy. So finally in Joshua, we're getting it really to stay open. Let's jump all the way to Isaiah, just like in the Pitt Minion. And Isaiah. Now this, the only thing I could find on it, because this one is an old one, and as far as I know, they're not printing new copies of it anymore. It's technically unprinted, but the only thing I could find was this was a 6-point font, whereas this is a 6.75 font. Okay, one is NASB and one is ESV, so bear that in mind. And we're going to look at the difference in thickness in just a moment, which is something else to keep in mind. But here we have this one. This is a 6-point font, Awake, Awake. You can see that rather easily right there. This is a 6.75 font, Awake, Awake. You can see that easily. Okay, so they look just about the same. The only difference I would say is this font is rather bold, where this font, which is Lexicon number 1, I believe, is much more narrow, and so it almost makes it easier on the eye, in my opinion, to read this than to read this. And these really narrow columns just drive me crazy. I would not want this as my everyday carry Bible. But it makes it that bolder font makes it a little bit harder to distinguish, especially when we start getting into like O's, like in yourself right there, when you get to the little O's. But it's just two different theories on readability at small print, guys. It's not really that big of a difference. This one, the theory is that a small print Bible should, a small print font should be bold, and this one is a small print font should be narrow to be distinguishable. So I mean, just definitely, a difference. But this is the real big difference. So these both have the same size font. We can look right here and see the difference. Let me put them spine to spine here. The difference in spine height. Now this one is much more drastic than the Pitt Minion was with the Heritage Bible. But here's, I think, the biggest drastic difference. There's a drastic difference in height. Just look at that. The NASB is more close to the Heritage Bible in thickness than it was with the Cambridge. Yeah, I mean, almost exactly the same in thickness with the Heritage Bible. So that's something that's kind of a big deal here. Oh, and I'll put the Oxford King James on top of there too, so you can just see that it is a dwarf Bible in comparison. It's a pocket Bible right there. It's my dad's. He carried it with him for quite a while. But the NASB, I mean, this thing is thick, and you can see that it's you can see by the rounding in the pages here. It's got some use from it. I've gotten a lot of use from it. As I said in my video, I carried this for a long time, and yeah, it's decent Bible. Decent. I mean, I like the NASB translation. Don't get me wrong. That's why I bought this, but I've gotten to the point where I'd rather have something that I can easily drop in a bag. I can put this in a bag. It can fit it with all my other books. I don't have to find a backpack that's going to have a spot big enough for me to have this in its case. I keep it in a case. You guys, if you know me personally, you'll know that I'm a huge Batman fan. R.B. May, Batman. This was made for me by a friend to keep my Bible in, and so I don't have to try to find a spot to keep that in, because I carry a bag with me everywhere. This will fit in it. This wouldn't. It would just take up space and leave all sorts of empty space. The final thing before we finish here that I want to talk about is the fact that they don't make these Bibles like they used to. So this is an old Cambridge Bible. So we can see here, it's not quite as thick here. It's not quite as tall here. Lined up. Spines lined up. Okay. This was my grandfather's Bible, Ray B. May. That's Ray B. May Sr. I'm Ray B. May the Fourth. This is a Cambridge red letter edition in French Morocco. So it's a thin, tougher leather. But you can see here on the hinge where it's actually been worn rather well. The gold is still holding up very nicely on the cover. Whoever did that imprinting. It says right here, it says French Morocco leather, which I've heard can be anything from goat skin to calf skin to cowhide. Just, it's kind of a, depending on the source that it came from, it could be just a leftover sort of thing. It was really kind of special for a long period of time. It was given to my grandfather. They don't put a date on here, in Canyon Bible Baptist in Majeska Canyon, California, which that would be forever ago. That's when he was stationed down in Majeska Canyon. This is published on India paper, the Cameo 16MO text. I'm not 100% sure what that is. It's the pronouncing King James. His Majesty's special command, appointed to be read in churches, contain the Old and New Testaments. Cambridge, published by the Syndics of the Cambridge University Press, printed in Great Britain. So this is a Great Britain Bible. This is back before they started printing them in, I believe this one was printed in by Youngblood in the Netherlands. I know that it was typeset right here in the United States, up in Washington. So this is typeset in 6.75 on a lexicon number 1 by Blue Heron Bookcraft, Battleground, Washington, USA. And it was printed and bound in the Netherlands. Now I know it was printed and bound by Youngblood. So this cover is much nicer, in my opinion, much easier to deal with than the French Morocco, just because it's a little bit thicker. The leather is nicer. It's probably just because it's newer. Let's face it, folks. Newer leather that's been used is going to hold up a little bit better. I'm going to open up to one of my favorite Psalms here. This is page 2 of Psalm 119. Okay, Psalm 119 goes most of this page, this 2-page spread, all of this page, and most of this page. Okay, So we're just going to go to the middle of that psalm. So there's no chapter numbers here. There's just Psalm 119 for us on the page. So with the cameo, now this is not a cameo reference. There's also a cameo wide margin that they came out with. They've republished a lot of these. These old ones were loved by so many people. There's the King James Epistle, Dedicatory, and then we go to Genesis. Now this is not going to stay open here, just because this Bible is a little bit older. So we're going to flip through some of these pages, a little bit deeper in the Bible. So now we're in Kings. So here, it's going to start to lay over for me. So Psalms, that's the ribbon marker. I have it tucked up to keep it safe. I went way past, overshot it. But I mean, looking at this, you can already see a difference in font here. I don't know what size this font is. Of course, this would be not the same. I don't think this would be considered the same because it's a completely different era here. It would be considered the same sort of measuring system. It would all be approximation. So Psalm 119 starts on this page, which is down at the bottom. Page 813 starts, a third of the way down the second column of page 813. And I know that in this Bible, it goes for 4 full pages, and then we get to Psalm 120. So, and then that's another full page. So 120 starts on 8:19. But I'm just going to turn to the first 2 full page spread here, and we can just see here the difference in what we're dealing with right here. See that versus this? I mean, this font is so much bigger, so much more readable, so much more bold. They just do not make Bibles like they used to. This India paper, and this one was great. The gold on the edge is 23 karat gold. I mean, it's just an amazing Bible. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great Bible. I would highly recommend, if you were going to buy, if you wanted a Bible that you could just carry with you, that you could carry anywhere, get this Bible. It comes in multiple different bindings, from hardcover all the way up to this goat skin. It comes in multiple different translations, and it's a great Bible. So, Cambridge, excellent product. Excellent product. I'm very, very happy with the Pitt Minion. I think it's something I'm going to carry with me for years to come. I mean, those pages are just gorgeous, and just I'm very happy with it. So, thank you so much for the work that you did on this, Cambridge, and I look forward to seeing more Cambridge Bibles now that I have 2 of them. But yeah, I'm definitely, guys, if you're looking for a hand-sized Bible that you can just carry with you everywhere and don't have to worry about it, buy Cambridge Pitt Minion. It is a great purchase. I'm really, really pleased with the font inside. I'm really, really pleased with the binding. Really, really pleased with the paper. The paper is just, I mean, to the touch, I mean, even this one to the touch doesn't beat the new India paper that they have in here. So, highly recommend it. Okay, guys, so I'm signing off. I hope that we helped you to believe something better, to maybe find a new Bible that you might like. These Cambridge Pitt Minions are awesome. I highly recommend them. You can carry them with you. You can see it here in my hand. It's not too big, not too small. Get one if you need a Bible that you just need to carry with you everywhere and put in a bag. I mean, most of my journals and stuff that I carry with me are much bigger than that on a daily basis. So, great Bible. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment. Leave me a comment down below. And I hope that we helped you to believe in something better.